Yusuf Ishak is a publisher and a survivor. For 25 years, he has run the Indonesian publishing house Hasta Mitra, despite political obstacles and in the face of great personal danger.
Don't get the impression that I want to be a hero. No, no. Nothing about that. Not a hero. It is just working for the good cause. Because I'm convinced we are contributing something small, but something. Upholding democracy. Believe that.
In the summer of 1965, Sukarno was Indonesia's president. Yusuf Ishak was a famous journalist and editor, a leading intellectual, and Sukarno favorite. In September, 6 of the country's most senior generals were dragged from their beds and murdered, the first in a series of events that ended in the overthrow of President Sukarno, the establishment of a militaristic regime by General Suharto, and the start of a campaign of terror, mass murder, and ideological cleansing.
In this environment, anyone who had any socialist leanings whatsoever was subject either to be slaughtered on the street or imprisoned. For Yusuf, he survived 2 years of interrogations and sporadic imprisonments before finally in 1967 he was imprisoned for a solid decade in a prison called Salemba, where the conditions were really grim beyond imagining.
One day, out of the blue, my grandchildren, Marsha and Nabil, asked me whether it was true that I had been imprisoned. Correct? I admitted. That's true. That was a long time ago, before they were born. I had been imprisoned as a political prisoner. The first time I was imprisoned as a journalist, and the second time as a publisher. Then I took the children with me to Salemba, the jail where I had been imprisoned for so many years. In front of the prison, I explained to the children the difference between a criminal and a political prisoner. I have nothing to hide. There is nothing to be ashamed of. And you too, I said to my grandchildren, must never be deterred by the truth.
In 1980, released from prison but denied basic freedoms and forbidden to return to his former work, Yusuf launched a publishing operation with 2 partners, also political prisoners. One was Pramudia Ananta Toer, Indonesia's most prominent author and most famous dissident. Pramudia's extraordinary works were most of what Hasta Mitra published. No other publisher would have dared touch them. The Suharto government banned nearly everything Hasta Mitra published, with severe penalties including years in prison for those caught distributing or discussing Hasta Mitra's books.
With incredible courage and heroism, Yusuf went on editing and publishing these books. He put up with interrogations, he put up with intimidation, he put up with imprisonments, but he was determined to publish these important works of literature.
After Suharto's regime collapsed in 1998, Hasta Mitra published Indonesia's first insider account linking Suharto to the overthrow of Sukarno and the events of 1965 by a man who had endured 33 years in prison. In 2003, when the U.S. State Department released its own documents on the coup, they were immediately published by Hasta Mitra in a book called CIA Documents, the effort to overthrow Sukarno.
Publishers are the unsung heroes behind many freedom of expression cases. When a writer's book is suppressed by the government, it is often the writer who calls attention to himself because after all, it's his words that were printed. What we don't often think about is the publisher who stands behind that writer who brought his words to the attention of the public. But these publishers are often punished just as severely as the writers themselves. The writer goes to prison and the publisher goes along with him.
We cannot surrender to this kind of cruelty and stupidity. We just go on. We just go on. As long as I'm healthy, I'm going on with editing and publishing books.
For taking enormous personal risks and exhibiting great courage to publish controversial and lasting work, PEN is proud to join the Association of American Publishers in presenting Youssef Ishaq with the 2004 Jeri Laber International Freedom to Publish Award.